Welcome to Destructoid's video channel, everyone. It's been a crazy month so far, and by the time you watch this, Bethesda Softworks' Fallout 4 will have already been released. The massively anticipated open-world FPS RPG is the long-awaited sequel to Fallout 3, which released in October 2008 and sold 4.7 million units until the end of the year. Whether it's due to Bethesda taking its time to bring out a proper sequel, or because Fallout 4 is the developer's first major single-player title since The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, there is a ton of hype surrounding the game that's unlikely to disappear even after launch. One of the major concerns with Fallout 4 since its reveal has been the visuals. With games like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Batman Arkham Knight, at least on consoles, exemplifying excellent visuals, it seemed inevitable that one's expectations with Fallout 4 would be high. Even though Bethesda is sticking with the same creation engine as Skyrim, it has been updated. It now includes support for physically based rendering, dynamic volumetric lighting, improved character creation, and much more. It's important to think back on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. CD Projekt Red's title featured a massive open world, but the quality of its visuals was higher prior to launch. Eventually, the developer had to downgrade things in order to get the game running in real time. This isn't a new trend by any means, and to The Witcher 3's credit, it looks very good, and isn't an enormous drop in quality from initial reveal trailers. That's keeping in mind the numerous bugs it saw at launch, including iffy frame rate performance on the PS4 that took months to finally fix. But when observing The Witcher 3, it was obvious that its visuals were meant to encourage exploration, quest participation, and experiencing the story. Its visuals were not focused on, say, modifying one's environment or generating random quests. You can't just pick up any object in The Witcher 3, nor can you apply dozens of different modifications to weapons. This isn't to indicate that The Witcher 3 is any better than Fallout 4, but there are different systems governing different purposes in both games. This doesn't exactly excuse Fallout 4 for its visuals though, especially when you compare it to previous generation games. Perhaps it's because of the long development time between Skyrim and Fallout 4. When Skyrim first released, it marked the debut of the creation engine, and Bethesda moving further away from Gamebryo, its previous engine. The Elder Scrolls title was one of the best-looking games at the time, especially on PC, and this was before the advent of user-created mods. Fast forward to 4 years later, and it seems like the creation engine hasn't aged as well as we'd thought. One could also look at the rapid advancements made in visual technology since then, what with many games focusing more on current-gen hardware, while Fallout 4 runs on an engine that was best suited for previous-gen consoles. That being said, at the end of the day, graphics do matter. They matter when it comes to properly immersing oneself into the world, regardless of how bleeding edge the visuals are. To this end, it's ultimately up to the player to decide whether Bethesda accomplished its goal. Will you look at the grimy aesthetic of Fallout 4, despite all those pretty colors, and believe the wasteland never looked better? Will you look at the various NPCs and interactions and decide that another game did them better? Will you simply enjoy the game for what it is rather than what it should have been? All these answers ultimately depend on you. And honestly, though graphics can be important when setting the atmosphere and believably immersing a player in the game, how often do you stop to smell the flowers when you're looking at your minimap, or when you're busy with the story? We'll still want better visuals from Fallout 4, but we'll be perfectly fine with its current look if its gameplay, what matters the most, delivers. Do you believe Fallout 4 should have better looking visuals compared to other open world titles? Do its current visuals fit the aesthetic perfectly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Let's go, boy.